100. It's been a while since I made an official cooking video. I know I did Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving was sort of like a fuck. I need to do it. But Thanksgiving was 2 days ago. It's Saturday. And I have lots of leftovers. So, but we are going to make, I don't know if it's a dish that I actually know how to make. I should only need leftovers. Oh, and I have broth in the fridge. Oh, this could be, oh. So I had like this vision. The gravy I used, the Swanson gravy thing, had a recipe on the back, and I sort of like perused it, went, oh, that's interesting. And now I've had this like urge to take rice, white rice, and then cook it most of the way. And then once it's cooked most of the way, which I'm gonna use the pressure cooker for, we are going to put it in a, I didn't do you. We're gonna put it in an oven safe dish and then cover it with gravy. And then we're going to chop up the leftover turkey. And then once we have the leftover turkey and gravy, then I'm gonna chop up one of these tomatoes, because I got these big tomatoes, and I just feel like turkey and tomato go together like a tomato lettuce thing. And we're gonna sprinkle Romano cheese all over the top of that shit to make like a risotto cheesy thing. And then we're gonna bake that motherfucker. And that's what we're making. And I don't know if that's an actual recipe, but it's what we're making. So just accept the greatness that will come from this. So now I'm gonna do several things. I'm gonna set that to rice, because I don't wanna wait all fucking day. I'm gonna put water in this, because I don't wanna wait all fucking day. This takes too long, god damn it. We want to have all our rice ready to go. Like, we want that, because as soon as we can't do part 2 and 3 and 4 of this recipe until the water has built pressure in a pressure cooker. So we'll do that. I never measure my rice. I just do about 2/3 more water than rice. So that's Texmati. And this is Jasmati, which is basically jasmine rice. We need a lot of it for this dish to make sense. We have more jasmine rice than Texmati, American Bismati, so we'll do that. Okay, put these away. We will rinse our rice, because people have been yelling at me to rinse my rice, and it actually doesn't do a bad job. Oh, should have had hearty chicken pot pie style with dumplings. I got a bunch of these cans. All right. Because maybe we should have some like vegetables in it too. Like besides tomato. But then I'm gonna put tomato in it. I don't have like root vegetables. I got cream of spinach. We're gonna mix some cream of spinach in there. Again, we're basically gonna make a casserole. I think it's called a casserole, right? Is it called a casserole? I think we're gonna make a casserole. But first we're gonna rinse our rice. And to do that, you literally put on cold water, and then you do that, and you walk away. So if I use this, because like smothering the rice in gravy sounds fantastic, but there is like a health issue, plus the matter of I want to have some leftover gravy for when I'm doing other things with the gravy, because the gravy only comes once a year. So I think I'll use a can of this to sort of like break it up. Now we're gonna figure out a dish, because my glass dish I'm basically using for my sweet potato pie. What the fuck was that noise? So we need an oven safe dish. Ugh. Like that'll have to do. I'll line that up, or maybe I won't line it. Put it like this. I feel like if I line this with tin foil, it's just gonna be a mess. Somehow more of a mess than if I don't line it with tin foil. Right. Pour out the water. Look at the white water. We're gonna give it a little stir, and you got to do this like 3 or 4 times. So I'm just gonna like, until the water is no longer white. Do I need to add more rice to this? I feel like it's a lame amount of rice. But I only have those 2 rice containers, and I don't want to go shopping. And I usually make too much rice. So this was actually more rice than I usually make, which is usually too much. But I'm making a casserole. It's like a rice casserole. Look, it's still white. Eventually it will not be white. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna go all the way there because I do want it to stick together a little bit. Still white. All right, let that come out. That's making loud noises, which is good. I'm gonna leave a little bit of water in there so I can do this, get that onto the hot burner. We are going to sprinkle it with some, I always make rice with salt. Not a lot of it, because it's gonna absorb everything you put in there. Like when you boil water for pasta, it only absorbs the percentage of the water that gets absorbed. So if you put a pound of salt in 200 gallons of water and then boil a pound of pasta in it, you're only taking like 1/1000th of a percent. But with rice, it's gonna take it all, baby. You got it all. And I need a bit of butter, and I need a bit, I actually did some cleaning up in the kitchen. It's remarkable how much better you feel when you don't have like dirty dishes fucking everywhere. I don't know why I do this. I do that though. Throw that shit in there. I'm probably gonna do a very Zios thing and pull out some sweet potato pie because this does not go with our casserole. But I'm hungry right the fuck now, so we'll reheat some of this. And this was the sweet potato pie I made that was not the 100% official Zios legal sweet potato pie. There's legal sweet potato pie and there's illegal sweet potato pie. I made very illegal sweet potato pie. In that I didn't actually have sweet potatoes. I ended up using a fucking 3 cans of Bruce's canned yams because all the sweet potatoes at the store were like this big. They must have just all been sold out. There was 200 turkeys, but no real sweet potatoes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Ugh. Pour that on there. We're gonna get our water line. We're actually gonna make it a little bit drier than normal, so maybe like a 50-50 water, not water. 50% rice. So just if you put a centimeter of rice, you put 2 centimeters of water, so you cover, that's how Europe works. That's European. So now that we've got this ready to gizzo, take that out of seal mode. And there's a secret to this. Like you just turn it over, but it's got a little bit of play. If you push it, wait. Almost got it. Let the steam build up. Let the steam build up. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Fuck. Come on. We don't want to wait. Come on. Go, baby. Go. Stay. Come on. More pressure. Yes. There we go. Manipulating your pressure cooker, probably not the greatest thing to do, but I do it. So this sweet potato pie, I would say, is 70% as good. I'm gonna use the same sweetening ingredients, although less of it. It just hasn't had the texture. There's waifus in my microwave. Minute plus. So good, this microwave. Just has minute plus. My old one, the one that's actually downstairs I took from my apartment, has 30 seconds and minute. But you could only ever add 30 seconds at a time when you hit 30 seconds to start. And if you hit a minute, you couldn't add 30 seconds. You had to keep adding minutes. It's weird. Oh, don't sneeze in my house. Pasta ever brings Audrey here and she starts barking, it's gonna be like, ah, I've died. Oh God. So we got, I guess we'll eat that with cranberry. And then I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna eat it, I'm gonna go downstairs. I gotta film episode 7 on the unboxing channel of the home theater in the basement. Like setup in theory. Or conclusion, I should put. And then I wanna watch The Mandalorian, because episode 5 is out of season 2. If you're from the future, episode 5 of season 2 is out. Oh, I didn't make a mess, did I? I didn't realize how close to the edge this was. I'm just gonna jab the middle and then... As long as it doesn't burn your tongue, but as long as it ain't cold. So I'm gonna probably eat this off camera because you guys don't need that. So I'm waiting an additional 9 minutes for this to be done. I don't think there's much I could do in prep work. I could take out the gravy, I guess. That's, take that out. There's my gravy, it's sloshed around. I guess we could prep the turkey. And I have the dark meat and white meat separated. We could throw stuffing in there too. I mean, we could literally just throw, we're just gonna throw we're gonna make the whole fucking thing into a meal. It's extra sweet potato and that's stuffing. Cranberry can stay because you don't cook cranberry. You don't ever fucking cook cranberry. There's my, oh, and my neighbors were nice enough because they knew I'm here alone. They came up with meal and I assessed and I was like, They had really good, like a corn casserole. The stuffing was not good. But then I gave them some of my stuff and sent it over there. So it all evened out. All right, so here's my white meat. And here is my dark meat. You don't need anything to prep. You're just gonna get shit dumped into you. You're covered in butter. I don't like cutting like chicken things on my wood. So you always keep a plastic cutting board for this. Like I speculated, I'm not really interested in these at all. So let's try to yank some of this meat off of here. Now this is gonna be a lot of stuff that pasta doesn't want to listen to, like the sound of flesh tearing off of bones. You're not gonna eat the skin, just peel that up. Dark meat's tough to like, not tough, dark meat's wonderful. But you gotta like get usable pieces of dark meat off of there and make sure there's none of those like weird turkey bones or turkeys usually have those stupid like feather spine things. So we're just gonna try to make sure we don't have that. And I could probably take the entire turkey thigh out of here. Real men tear turkeys apart with their bare hands. Well, somebody posted a picture of a bear's hand and it's like, oh, I don't want that. I don't want any part of that bare hand. It's like, this is dry on the end. I don't want that mixed in with anything. Because we're gonna put it into a spot that's got a lot of liquid in it. But I have a feeling some of this, once you reheat turkey, it always gets drier, no matter what you do. So I'm just gonna try to take the most moist bits. If it's bright colors like that, you're good. And it turns super dark, we're gonna try to avoid. And everybody knows dark meat's better than white meat. Everybody knows this. Oh yeah, that's a good meat panel. We've got some paneled meats. And you might say, well, this looks a little pinkish. Well, that's because we brined it, we cooked it correctly. This got to at least 155 everywhere before I yanked it out for the sit. And then it sat and went up to 160. At least 160. Because that's what you check meat for with thermometers. Now there's a couple like stringy pieces like this. We're gonna have to put those to the side. Because I want to use that piece of meat. I just don't want to have to dick around with it. Okay, you're good. Separate this. I could toss that. Good. Got to cut that. Same with the drumstick. Like, turkey drumsticks, by the way, when you go to fucking Disney World, and they're like, turkey drumsticks are the best. They don't even fucking taste like turkey. This turkey drumstick tastes like fucking turkey. The turkey drumsticks at Disney World taste like fucking ham. And I'm like, why? I don't want ham on a stick. I want turkey on a stick. Dark meat's a pain in the ass. Especially the day after. It just gets like weirdly dry and sticky. Not even sticky, like just hard to deal with. Mr. Chop Chop. Mr. Chop Chop. There we go, get rid of that. I'm just gonna make these into like casserole sized pieces. There's no law that says you even have to do this. You can throw it in their fucking hole. Like, I wouldn't be like upset if I got a big piece of turkey in there. That looks like something I want to not eat. Cut that off. We're examining getting this done up. My cousin is a professional turkey murderer. Not that he actually murders the turkey, but he will butcher the shit out of it for you. And if they're really like if they're drier pieces, cut them even smaller. Just cut them so small that they just become part of the primordial goo. Should I start heating up the oven? See, a good cook will just be like, wait, should I start heating up the oven? Also, we got a drip of like weird turkey blood thing going on there. So I'm gonna, wait, is that a clean paper towel? Some of these paper towels are just like wiping up water. Do that. And we're not cutting with the grain. You can see there's literally lines going this way. You cut against that because that would make it stringy if you went with it. So we're gonna go with short little chonkers. And even if you thought your turkey was undercooked, this will definitely finish it as we put it in an oven. I don't know what temperature. I'm thinking it just has to really warm up in there. We're not like killing it. So I'm thinking like 325, 350 because my oven turns on at 350 and I'm the laziest person on earth. I think that's not a bad way to go either. Oh, and since this is a Z-Cooks, I should probably bring it up here since it's important. One of my favorite porn stars. Yeah, Jenny Lee. Remember Jenny Lee? Who remembers Jenny Lee? She's the one that used to do like really funky like moves. She did like that cross leg thing where she was like, I don't even know. I've never seen a girl do that since Jenny did that in porn. Anyway, it turns out she's living in the sewers, or she was living in the sewers of Vegas. And some Dutch news network found her down there as they were doing like an investigation. And I'm like, that sucks. She was methed out, teeth all fucked up. I'm like legitimately upset by this, by the way, because Jenny Lee was like my like, holy fuck, who's your favorite porn star? Now you're all gonna look her up now, and it's Jenny with an I, Lee. So have fun, but not too much fun, kids. Also, the turkey carcass is in this garbage pail still since the Thursday. So it doesn't start smelling yet. But I only have garbage pickup twice a week, and I'm not gonna like randomly, I'm not gonna bring it outside because I'd rather have it smell a little bit in here than bears. Although I haven't seen bears, lots of deer. Where's my sweet potatoes that I wanted to consume while we were doing this? Oh, just God, yes. Can I just put this in there? And then we can just throw the rice. I guess, yeah, you know what? It's not like I'm preparing it like in separate little things. I've got so much white meat. My God. And when I was slicing it off the carcass, I was getting like these slabs. I can't leave the skin on, unfortunately. I need a garbage pail. Do I need a fucking third garbage pail? Because I use this one all the time, and I use that one all the time. But I'm always like, man, I wish I had a third garbage pail right here. This is the problem with having a kitchen so big that you have to like have fucking multiple garbage pails. See, the white meat is definitely getting dry. So I have so much of it, you could be real picky. Like, I know we're throwing it in a casserole, and I don't like to waste food, but I also don't like to eat dry turkey. Like, that's beautifully put. Oh, putting that in there. I got this giant chunk. I think once we do this chunk, we can leave the rest of that for like something else, some other thing. We got plenty going into this. Like this is gonna become more leftovers. Like it's already a leftover. Let's make it more leftovers. So rice is done. And it doesn't hurt to leave it in there because it's in a pressure cooker and it's still under pressure. Like I wanted it to be a little bit undercooked since we're gonna fill it with soup and everything, and I fucked it up. Not that, I didn't fuck that up. I fucked it up already. I was gonna cook the chicken in the chicken stock that I had I had the chicken stock. I had an unsalted chicken stock. I was gonna boil that rice in, I guess that might be too much, like, going on. Like how much turkey chicken do you really want? I've already got like, make sure that dumps out and don't burn your hand with the steam coming off of it. And be careful when you put this down your counter, because you put it straight down, it'll just keep the steam. I tend to leave mine like off the edge to give a little space. I think we're good with that. I need a scoopy scoop. Well, we need to finish our chicken, our turkey. Turkeydismemberment.com. So we cut long strips, and now we're gonna cut those strips into cubes. See, white meat is so much easier to deal with than the dark meat. The dark meat is honestly, like, I will take dark meat and chicken and dark meat on almost every time. Like when McDonald's was like, hey, we now have new all white meat nuggets. I'm like, why? The dark meat nuggets were the best part. They were so much more moist. Like, don't change shit, motherfuckers. Ask me if I want an all white meat thing. But doctors recommend garbage food. Give me dark meat nuggies. Okay. And do I need more than that? I feel like I'm now going to not. That's already a lot. That is already a lot. I'm not gonna add this. I'm just gonna trim these bits off. Yeah. Yeah, because this you just pull out. Oh no. Oh, Zeus. That's skin on that one. Zeus, you dirty girl. Oh no. Do not consume that on this video. Why are you doing this? Okay. So, the rice needs this. Well, it's stuck there, which means it's got a little bit of moisture left, which is fine. Oh yeah, I can still feel it's hard. I can feel it's hard. That's what we want. Oh yeah. Because we're gonna cook it. Oh, I should put the fucking oven on. Now I really should have put the oven on. I should have put the oven on. Don't do what Donnie don't does. Top upper on 325, which I think is too low, so 360 start. Now we're gonna open this up because we need to actually like, just take the trays out. Okay. This is E-Cooks. You don't have to let that get to temperature before you put the food in there. There's no specific time, we're just gonna check it. And I hate washing, actually no, I don't hate washing this. I hate this thing sitting in my sink for 3 days while I wait for space to put it in my dishwasher. Just wash it. Right now, wash it. Stop what you're doing. You know you're watching this video going, but I'm here to see how to cook, not how to clean. Fuck you. Okay, I washed that, battery died. So we're now gonna take our spatula and we're just gonna spread this over our evenly spread out chicken. Yes. I've never made this. I didn't read the instructions. I just was inspired by a recipe on a gravy box. So let's take this, pop this can of Progresso hearty chicken pot pie style with dumplings. I'm just gonna pour that over there. I'm sure there's like another soup you could use, any fucking soup. We're trying to get moisture in here. We're trying to get, like, I have a feeling eating an entire can of soup is better for you than eating an entire can of gravy. Just, I don't know, my spider senses tingle in that regard, but, so, perfect. Let that rinse out for a second. Now we're gonna take some of that. I said we were gonna do the spinach, right? Do a little bit of spinach. I'm just gonna put it in by hand because it's too hard to try to manipulate this. And there's some onions and stuff in here, so this is gonna be good. I'm not gonna use all of it either. I'm gonna use like a good amount, but not all of it. Because this actually came out pretty good with the recipe I took from the internet. I wanna have it be like it needs to fill a quota of healthy. The only thing I didn't do right on that recipe was I didn't have heavy cream, so that's my question. So now, this shit, which is goopy, and that's, by the way, the gravy that they sent me, the neighbors. So I just threw it in my gravy, because I mean, like, what's the difference? So hopefully it doesn't cause like some sort of catastrophic failure in the... Was this thing still heating? Yes, turn that off. I'm just gonna give this, like, we just gotta make sure. We're not using all the gravy. We're using a large portion of it. Oh yeah, oh. Zeos' body is happy. Yeah, there wouldn't have been enough gravy without the soup. So we've now got this in there. We've got turkey in there. I'm not gonna add stuffing because stuffing would literally take away moisture. I wanted to do a tomato because I have so many fucking tomatoes. So let's just chop up a fuck boy tomato. Although, is that gonna be the right flavor profile? Too many tomatoes. Flavor profiles be damned. I have too many fucking tomatoes. Cutting like 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter chunks. For those of you Europeans out there, a centimeter is roughly a 1/2 inch. It's close enough. I'm not gonna fucking fight you. Am I wasting some of that tomato? Probably. I have so many tomatoes. You think when you buy 3 giant tomatoes, you'd have like urge to use them, but then Thanksgiving comes around and you're like, oh fuck. These are beefsteak tomatoes. These are heavy duty. These are no holds barred wrestling tomatoes. I just like tomatoes and things usually. Although I may go back and trim out the middle section of some of these pieces. We're not going to cook it enough to get those to like break down. All right. Yeah. Okay. Where's my spatula? I don't know if this is going to taste any good. You know what I do know though? I'm about to go get the Romano cheese out of the fucking fridge. And ain't nothing better than Romano with tomato. There ain't nothing better. You could have as many Thanksgiving dinners as you fucking want. I could show you the way. This is the way. Okay. People are gonna yell at me if I don't use the entire fucking bottom of this tomato. It's a stupid bottom, stupid shapes. There we go. Yes. Yes. Put this away. So I have enough chicken, I have enough turkey left that I'm gonna need gravy in my future. And stuffing always needs gravy, just always does. Fuck! All right, number one, my hand is covered in tomato goo. Daisy Dama tomato goo. Those are the canned yams of failure. The fuck was that? I didn't even get it. I did. It's fine. I'm fine. I should not need to add any like other types of cheese, like cheddar or anything. I'm not going for that, like for that profile. And I'm not gonna cover this, I don't think. Like the rice was already hot, the turkey's already cooked, the spinach is already cooked. No, the only thing that's not cooked on this is the tomato, and this cheese is not cooked. Everything else is just getting reheated in the oven, so. Pray for me. Pray for me. So I've never done this. We're gonna find out together after I slide that motherfucker in there. I'm probably gonna leave it in for like 25 minutes. Like I'm doing it uncovered. I feel like 25 minutes should be enough. We're just looking for that, a little bit of salt. A little extra salt. Do I want to do pepper? Like people are always like, oh, you got to season it. And I'm like, but it's got so much flavor already. All right, here we go, everybody. I'm gonna put it in on the right-hand side so that it hits down, and I'm gonna make sure I leave the oven light on so I can see the cheese. Oh, I didn't need to use this. That was my big idea that I fucked up. I was like, oh, I could use chicken stock in my, and when I cooked the rice itself, and I didn't. So I'm a failure. I'm a failure. All right, we'll check back. It's 5:02. Echo, set an alarm for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
I'll keep an eye on that and I'll keep checking it. If I'm wrong, if it's earlier, I'll tell you. Echo, stop timer. 30 minutes has passed. We're at 350 in the oven, according to this. And that looks, we've got a little bit of crisping happening on the tomatoes. I don't like them to be too dry. I'm gonna call this done. The cheese looks good. I might take the torch to the cheese because I think 360 is like a little bit low for making Romano cheese just like pop. So let's see if I can repeat what happened before we lose the heat. Whip out one of these. Everyone's got one of these. Everybody in the kitchen's got one of those. I was looking at the cheese that hasn't like browned or changed color, and I'm just gonna give that a little toast. Just give it a toast over here. Don't stay in one spot for too long either. I love when there's mysterious sounds while I'm blowtorching things. Was that glass falling? Weird. Anyway, I'm calling that, oh my God, she's so cute. Calling that done. So now, that's off. That's got to cool down. We need a bowl. It's one of the only bowls that I use in the course of Thanksgiving. So I take this out. I've got the cranberry sauce out. Go with a non-slotted spoon. This doesn't look terrible. I'm gonna start in the corner where it looks like it's cooked more. Oh yeah, give it a little bit of like, It smells good. Am I going to have regretted not putting in the entire amount of gravy? So, we got some turkey finally. There we go. There's some corn in this from the soup can. Some tomatoes on top. It's gonna be weird. There's so much stuff in this. We're going to consume it with a fork. I'm sure it's hot as fuck. I love those little dumplings in the soup container. I was worried about the tomatoes. I'd probably do a smaller tomato, but still quality. I'm gonna dig down to this. Theos burns his mouth and can't taste food for 3 days because he had to rush because of a review. Because of a cooking video. Well, the turkey came out fine. Now with the hot one. Now with the hot one. Boom. Now it's Thanksgiving dinner. This tomato's got a big piece of the center that I don't like. Oh, go in the can now. Anyway, that is this. I probably, because I could still see rice, like there's moisture in the bottom of the pan, probably from everything else, just because probably from the tomato, honestly, the tomato dripping down. But I would have probably gone with the rest of the gravy to just make sure it's sitting in a vat of gravy. So next time you make this, which will be 1 year from today, good luck with your shit.